The Feminine Bible, First Edition, published 2022. Chapter 1, Word Magic. This book is a Bible of word magic. Welcome to the Feminine Bible. In its most basic form, a Bible is a scripture of Old and New testimonies. This book consists of Old and New concepts in regards to the provocation of your feminine principles. Using the concepts of etymology, which is the study of origins of words, we will incorporate psychological archetypes and spiritual knowledge of astrology and the chakra system to help us understand how to evoke your feminine power. You will find journal prompts, which are encouraged for you to participate to get the most out of this book. You can also find your copy of the Feminine Bible on Amazon or Etsy. See the description below. Woman, an omen or an omen, prophetic significance, an event regarded as good or evil. The word woman means omen. Your femininity is magical. What brings the feminine into her woman form is her perspective of her life and how she professes her life to be. It is how she professes, affirms, and confirms what is real in her life. You can profess what magical things can happen to you, or you can claim what awful things will happen to you. The power of foreseeing is meant to be handled with care, as your feminine is also meant to be handled with care. Foreseeing can be a prediction of doom. Foreseeing can also be a vision of beauty and wishes granted in your future. Femininity is darkness, which is where all manifested occurrences are created. The darkness of your femininity is in your mind and body. You create your whole world by the omen that comes from your mind. How you profess or confess upon your life is where things matter. You become a mother to your matrix, a world you created from your internal guidance. The secret to femininity. You may have found women who can draw men like magnets. You too have these magical powers. You may see women that have natural curvy bodies that draw them to incredible sexual experiences. You too have these magical powers. You see women who are confident and able to take care of themselves on a consistent level. You too have these magical powers. You see women who seem to have a lot of energy in their sexuality and sensuality. You too have these magical powers. This is my omen to you, that I foresee your magic is now processing. I foresee that you are now awakening into your feminine magic. I foresee that you have been protected until now, because now is the predicted moment where you were meant to awaken. Chapter 2, the Sacral Chakra. The sacral chakra. The secret to femininity is connected to the sacral chakra. In ancient Hindu Tantrism, the sacral chakra is the chakra of sexual energy and creativity. It is the chakra of your balanced emotions. When one is going through emotional turbulences, healing this chakra is the key. When you are in your full femininity, the sacral chakra is balanced. You have a strong libido. You create with a sense of duty to the world, but carefree of shame and guilt. It is key to understand that there are things in your life that can enhance your sacral chakra, and there are things that can take away from your sacral chakra. It is said that this chakra is blocked when we are dealing with fears, especially fears of death or fears of intimidation from outside forces. The root chakra. The root chakra is the survival chakra, and if a woman does not have her basics to survive, she will overcompensate and pull her energy from her sacral chakra energy. Basic needs from the root chakra is money, income, food, sleep, and sex. If a woman does not have these basics, she can feel unmotivated to tend to her needs in the sacral chakra. Even worse, if a woman is in survival mode, her root chakra is working in overload, and her sacral chakra can succumb to her fears, which can lead to a very weak lifestyle, where she is fearful of her survival, and she will deplete herself of her feminine energy. This leads to low libido, low creative drive, the feeling of being overburdened by life's challenges, instead of tackling those challenges with creativity and confidence. If a woman cannot feel provided or provide for herself, this energy depletes her feminine power and pulls her into the masculine chakra, the root chakra. And she cannot pull her energy into her creative, receptive, feminine, and sensual powers. The feminine versus the masculine chakra. The sweet, sacral feminine versus the root, sour masculine. Men and women have different balance of their chakras. Women are meant to have a less stronger root chakra, the survival chakra. You see that women are created with ovaries and vagina, which indicates the introverted energy of the sacral chakra, where she creates life, the creative chakra. Men are created with penis, scrotum, and testicles, which makes their root chakra stronger. They are meant to be able to handle the fears of survival and contain that energy for the feminine. How the woman feeds man and man supports woman. Women's sacral chakra becomes empowered by the man root chakra. She can be sweet and trust in him. Her strong sacral chakra feeds his sacral, and his energy rises up for him to be strong in the world and have good social status in life. She gives him the sweetness of life. If she is trying to control him from her sexuality, then she is actually imbalanced and still operating from her root chakra, which is the energy of survival. When she gives to him her balanced and strong sacral energy, he can return to her the energy of support, which will carry her root chakra, and she is able to shine in confidence herself as her solar chakra helps her to get her own status in life. Why don't men notice you? A woman can face difficulties with men due to her need to be in the root chakra all the time. She may be reckless with her money. She may try to dominate or manipulate men with her sexuality. She may live a life where she has always been in survival mode, having to fend for herself. She is living a life of survival, and because of this, a man picks up that her root chakra is overworked, and she does not have the sweetness of creative life that is coming from the sacral chakra. Some women who are fulfilled in their careers and are creative in their careers can balance a strong root and sacral chakra. These women can attract men because they are strong in matching the men with their sacral energy. Though these women may be very intimidating to some men, because even though they look and feel feminine in their energy, they are also strong in their root chakra. Some women repel men, and they are the most successful women in the world. They may even dress the part of feminine, but they have been successful due to self-sustaining actions. Their root chakra is stronger than their sacral chakra. They shut off their sacral energy so that they can become successful in the world. Thus, their root chakra is what is engineering them, and this is repellent to a man with strong root chakra. The types of men you attract. The types of men you attract are deeply connected to your chakra balance. If you are a career-oriented woman, you may attract men who have a less dominant root chakra. This doesn't mean that he will not be man enough for you, but it is up to you as the omen to speak life into his energy so that his sacral chakra endures your sweetness and he will want to provide for you. These men come from situations with less than nourishing mothers, and thus they are not as strong in their root chakra. They need women who are nourishing enough to feed him support, but not overnourishing where you become mommy, in which you are providing and nourishing him. A lot of men fall into this category, and there's incredible potential if the couple finds synergy. Another type of man who comes from less than good parenting. He can be a very successful man and strong in his root chakra. He may enjoy your sweetness and prefer for you to be less career-oriented. He may desire for you to supply him with your powerful sacral energy, and when you do, you empower him as his root chakra is strong and his sacral is now empowered. However, when he gets successful, he does not empower you. He speaks less of you and wants you less in your creative energy. This type of man are the Andrew Tates of the world, the ones who have money and riches, and uses a narcissistic supply of women to feed his sacral chakra, all the while depleting them of their creative and life-giving force. He does not give back to his women. He is an omen feeder. The types of men you attract are deeply connected to your chakra balance. If you are a nourishing woman, you may attract an enmeshed man. He loves your nourishment because it reminds him of his mother. He is the way too tied to his mother and has root chakra issues and probably overworked sacral chakra. He could be creative type, and he could also be subjugated to addictions like gambling, sex, and drugs. His mother quite often was the main person in his life, and she never saw any of his girlfriends or his potential mates as good enough for him. She may have coddled him and made him feel good about himself, but he does not have identity to himself that is separate from his mother. He may be threatened by your creative energy, and he may want to keep you as an emotional partner, but cannot supply you with the sexual and provider strength that you need. You are a partner and an adversary at the same time, because you are not like his mother and never will be. You give your sacral energy away, but never get the love, so you lose social status. The man that most women want, but is usually created, see the first paragraph, is the one who is balanced in his root chakra. He works hard and wants to have someone that he can provide for because he knows he is not whole without his feminine counterpart. He supports you in your career and endeavors and is supplied by your sacral energy to keep him motivated to reach the heights he desires in life. He does not need you to be career-oriented, but if you are, he will coach you and provide what you need. He will encourage you just as you do with him. Together you are the symbol of how love works. The connection of a father's presence in a woman's life can be the reason of her tendency to be off balanced in her chakra system. Women who were experienced absent fathers and or women who had present fathers, but the fathers were not a healthy presence, have the tendency to face the world with severe insecurity, or the tendency to face the world as if they are in constant survival mode. The mindset of, I can do this alone, is out of balance. It is important to be independent, but to be independent at the fault that you cannot trust others to help you, or trust others to be competent, can become an issue. Some women are born in families with absent fathers, and they use their sexuality or their bodies in their adult lives as a search for their father's love. They fall for men easily, or they use their bodies to get men to fall for them, as they are in need of that masculine energy so badly that they will use what they got to get it. Some women give up their bodies easily, knowing it is easy to catch the men this way. Then, when they realize these men only wanted them for their bodies, they are deeply hurt. Some women choose not to be hurt and want to backlash on these men in a vengeful spirit, which aids their confidence a little bit, but they never get to the root cause, that it is because they are looking for their absent fathers. Even if the man was justly wrong in how he treated her, she fails to look at why she wanted him in the first place. Some women are conservative, but displace their expectations of their missing fathers onto their romantic and intimate partners. They become overbearing, critical, and anti-seductive. Some women subliminally blame their mothers for their father's absence and take a lot of their rage out on their mothers. This depletes the woman's femininity as well, as their relationship to their mothers are deeply connected to their feeling of safety and their ability to nourish themselves and make money. Some women cannot hold their money. They do not know how to nurture their money. Some women work hard for their money. They are business in nature, which is fine, but when it comes to sustaining nourishing relationships, they may have challenges. Some mothers are damaging to their daughters. They too have had absent fathers and do not know their self-esteem or worth. They take out their lack of self-esteem onto their daughters. Some women treat their daughters like absent fathers. The daughters do not get the nourishment they need. The daughters become neglected and do not learn how to take care of themselves. The mothers treat them as if they should know how to take care of themselves without showing them how. Some mothers treat their daughters as mini-me's, and these daughters do not have an identity that is independent. It is laced into the mothers and enmeshed into the mother. These daughters do everything to appease their mother, and because they need the mother's love, they have a fear of abandonment from the mother. There are so many versions to these types of relationships between the feminine and her mother. And the key is for her to identify what was missing in her upbringing. At the same time, she has to forgive her parents and be grateful for what they did give to her. At the same time, she has to fulfill the parts of herself that are missing. This too leads to chakra imbalances, as it is a mighty burden to bear. But if she can find her way, she will magically yield to the powers of her feminine mystique, which is laced in forgiveness, overcoming, becoming, transformation, metamorphosis, and creativity. If the household was poor or had poverty mentality, this too can construct a woman to lose touch with her feminine safety. If the household had themes of shame or criticism in her sensuality or sexuality, this too would create a feminine who is unbalanced. If the feminine experienced abuse of any kind, this is a strike to her safety, and she has the tendency to have a root chakra imbalance. Some women who were born absent fathers can have a small identity of confidence, but with very little competence. They can feel like their sexuality is their only trait, or they can be completely repressed from their sexuality. Some women are born with a present father, but he was mean to her mother, or condescending, berating, shameful, and horribly a tyrant to women.